Hello, everyone. I am so happy that you are joining us from wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to post a comment as you're logging on to tell us where you are from. But I'm so excited about today for a number of reasons. First of all, it's International Women's Month. What? That's right. The entire month of March, we are going to celebrate brilliant women. So I know that many of you are coming in from all over the world, and I wanted to just jump on early and just say hi. I'm Simon T. Bailey, and I live in Orlando, Florida. And it is so nice to meet you. Please tell me where you're from, just so that I can give you a proper greeting. And today's going to be a great day. We have one of my favorite people in the world that you get a chance to meet in a moment. And I'm excited about that. Alina Balcom, how are you? Okay, so folks, real quick. I didn't know Alina was going to be on today, but Alina, I have to brag about you before we bring our guest on. If you've read the book Shift Your Brilliance, if you've read the book Brilliant Living, and you enjoyed those books, Alina Balcom is my right-hand person who has helped shaped my voice in the book. So, Lena, you know that I appreciate you. And Alicia Williams, what? She's already laughing. What? Alicia, so good to see you. Alicia is an amazing business owner of a really cool training company in Florida that does certification for content and can certify trainers and just a brilliant strategist. So if you're not following Alicia in LinkedIn, make sure you follow her because she's absolutely awesome. Okay. So it's International Women's Month. So excited about celebrating amazing women. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to introduce you to some amazing women that I know. And I'm so excited about today's guest. Yes, you're going to meet Rachel in just a minute. She's in the virtual green room. But you're probably saying, why are we doing this? Well, I work with some amazing women, and Megan and Jenny. And we were brainstorming. Stephen is also a part of our team. And we were just brainstorming, what can we do in the month of March? And we're like, oh my God, what if we celebrate women? What? Yes, absolutely. So, hey, Sandra, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is good in Michigan. So we said we're going to celebrate amazing women and not only celebrate them, but I want you to just be introduced to their thinking and to their mind. So let me tell you about Rachel Druckenmiller, okay? Rachel is a recovering, overachieving human being who actually teaches leaders and organizations how to be resilient. She is absolutely wicked smart, as they would say in Boston, and just a wonderful human being, married to an amazing man. And what I so appreciate about Rachel is her kindness, her smarts, and her consistency. So without further ado, can I get a what? Welcome, Rachel Druckenmiller. Rachel!
Oh, it's so good to be here with you, Simon. You're amazing. And I remember at first meeting you like 3 years ago at a CHRA conference, and I was sitting there like, you have those moments you're like, speaker goals. And I was like, that. I just remember being like, that, whatever that guy has, I want some of that.
Oh, that's awesome. So glad you're with us. And for those who are not familiar with CHHR, explain what the association is.
Yeah, it's the Chesapeake Human Resource Association. So it's in Baltimore County. It's one of the biggest counties in Maryland. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so Rachel, let's jump right in because I know everyone wants to hear your brilliant wisdom and insight. So what does being and living unmuted mean to you?
Well, for somebody who silenced myself a lot as a kid, silenced myself growing up, like so many of us do, right? We silence our creativity, we silence our feelings, we silence our voices, our emotions, our thoughts, our ideas because we're afraid, right? We're afraid we're not going to be good enough, or we're afraid we're going to get rejected. And so I let that dominate so much of my behavior for most of my life, honestly. And then,
wow.
Right? Have you ever had that situation happen where you just like
Totally.
are silent?
I get it.
It's painful.
And why do you think we silence ourselves and we never speak out, or talk about what's important to us? Why?
I think from my experience and what I've heard from others is that the main word that I hear come up over and over again is fear. Is this, I'm afraid, what are they going to think of me? What if I sound stupid? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm judged in some way? And so we let all this chatter keep us closed off, silenced, and muted. And it's really, really painful to be in that spot.
Wow. This is so good.
So,
I love it. Hi, let me just say hi to Jill and Maureen. Hey, Maureen, hope you're doing well. Yvonne Drew Alvarez, how are you doing, friend? So when did you make the fundamental decision that you wanted to unmute your life? Just take us through your story and down that path.
Yeah, so it's funny. People ask me like, when's like the moment, like the one thing? I'm like, well, it's like a progression of moments. It's like a bunch of different things. And I think anybody who's found success in any area of their life will tell you like what looks like overnight success happened over the course of like 15 years. And for me, I think of one moment that stands out, that was like kind of one of those catalyst moments, was when I was in college, and I had studied abroad in southern Spain, which is basically like San Diego weather. So amazing, just like you never want to leave kind of a thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, nice.
Like take me away to that. And so I was in this culture where these people they're vibrant and they're social and they're connected and they're colorful and they're dancing and there's music. And I had come from this place where I was like 12 years of Catholic school, in a uniform all the time, didn't really allow for much self-expression, loved singing when I was little, but kept myself in a place of judgment and silenced my own voice, even though I loved it. And so I came back from this experience. And I remember I was in gospel choir in college because there were no tryouts, so low risk. And I get back and I go to the director, Eric Bird, and I was like, I waited till everybody left the chapel, and I said, I want to try out for a solo. And Simon, I had this moment of like, you go up to the microphone and you're in this giant empty church, and I just closed my eyes. I was still scared, but I did it. It's like courage moving forward in the face of fear, doing it anyway. And I just let myself sing like that shower voice, or the voice in the car that I had just hidden for so long. And it was like this release, it felt like this immense release. And that was the beginning for me of letting my voice out. And it's the way I connect with my husband. We played music together. I'm like, what if I hadn't had the courage to just like let myself sing? Would I have ended up with my husband? Like there's so many consequences to us silencing ourselves that we're not always aware of in the moment.
And now you said gospel music. What? Somebody put a what in the chat if y'all caught that she said gospel music. Okay. Now here on the show, we have to put you got to sing a little something for us. So Rachel, let's just hear what you're working with, okay?
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Well, here's a snippet of a song that I feel like a lot of people can relate to over the past year, just for making it this far. And especially my situation of getting hit by a pickup truck and fracturing my back, I'm claiming this as my word for the past year. So here we go. I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I will survive. Keep on surviving.
What? Oh my goodness. What? Okay. You know what? I have a couple more questions, but before we end this live time, you may have to just come back and, as the old mothers of the church would say, bless us with another selection. Okay, so
Yes.
tell us, why is mindset so important as it relates to leaders and being resilient during this time? Why is mindset important? We want to go inside the work that you do every day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think especially this year more than ever that we've realized how important it is to be intentional in how we show up, right? To be intentional in how we show up as human beings. And I remember there was the book Strengths-Based Leadership that Gallup put out. One of the things they mentioned in there was that there's these 4 things that followers need from leaders in times of crisis. And 2 of the 4 are compassion and hope. That, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So we can go down that road a little bit if you want.
Yeah, please tell us more.
So when I think of compassion, a lot of times we always think of it like towards somebody else, but it's also, I think, one of the most powerful traits of leaders, especially in the past year, is self-compassion.
Wow. What is self-compassion?
It's giving yourself a break. So it's when you're in the experience of going through something difficult that you can look at yourself and say, that I'm doing the best I can with what I have in this moment. And that's all I can expect of anyone, including me.
Wow. I'm going to post that comment. Give yourself a break. Megan, let's highlight that comment. Give yourself a break, because I think somebody needs to hear that right now. Tell us about hope and why hope is so important, and how do you see it?
Yeah.
Hey, Shannon, hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Shannon and Tomo and Elaine, Santiago. Good to see these beautiful people. Go ahead.
Yes, everybody, amazing. So hope. So I love the word hope. If my husband and I, if we ever have a daughter, we want to name her Hope. I have a very strong connection to this word for a number of reasons, but one of them is that hope in and of itself is connected to a sense of agency, or a sense that I can control and influence my future in some way. Okay. And when people are feeling overwhelmed or stuck or discouraged or burned out, they're often in a place where they feel resourceless. And it feels like the demands are just like, I can't get a break. I can't throw this thing off my back that is just weighing me down. And so, Simon, I see like hope as this sense of agency that says, well, I may not be able to control that, but I can control this. I can control my response. I can choose to be responsive instead of reactive, because a reactive mind is one that goes to, pleasing and negativity and criticism and perfectionism and control and passivity. But a responsive mind, which might require us to pause, notice, and do a little bit of breathing, right? Do a little bit of breathing, take a moment, or reach out to somebody when we can't control our own mind. But to have that recognition, and I think, as Viktor Frankl says, like between stimulus and response is a choice.
Right.
There's like stimulus, response,
That's
choice.
So good.
And so I think that hope is a choice, right? Hope it's a heart posture. It's a choice to say, the compassion, this sucks, this is hard, this is human. And what am I looking toward in the future that's giving me a sense that something might be okay? Who might I be looking toward? Maybe it's a value. Maybe it's maybe it's connected to your spirituality. Maybe it's connected to a relationship that you have, a past experience where you went through something difficult and you made it through. So just those reminders can give us hope, which can help activate us to keep moving forward.
All right. So folks, here's what we're going to do. In a moment, we're going to open up and have you just ask questions that we can share and with Rachel and get her feedback. But Rachel, here's a question for you. There's someone listening to us right now, and they perhaps might be a little hopeless. What is one practical thing that they can do to become more hopeful and really unmute themselves and live life full on?
That's a great question. So I think one thing that somebody can do to find a sense of hope is to reach out to somebody. We say, don't hesitate, initiate, right? Like with that Smart Hope Now Summit last year, right? Talking about when we're in those moments where we feel hopeless, we also, we tend to feel alone as well. So to think to yourself, who is one person who has been there for me at some point in the past, or who is somebody that I see as a light, who is somebody I see as a bright spot that I can, in this moment, send a text to, send a voice text, call up, and even just say, hey, can you chat? Or like, hey, I need to talk. I need to talk. It's courageous to do that. And I promise you that if that person knew that you were having a hard time and that they could have been a source of inspiration or hope or light to you, and you didn't give them that chance, you're robbing them of the opportunity to bless you.
Oh, wow. That's so good. So when you were saying that, because you are also a gospel singer, you inspired my little heart. Now, I can't sing, I can't carry a tune, but in my head, I simply heard, reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place if you can. Now I'm gonna stay in my swim lane.
Oh, I love it. Let's hear Simon from Love in the chat. That was awesome. You know what? That is unmuted is, I may not be very good at this, but I'm going to let my joy and truth come out anyway. It's a joyful expression. That's what being unmuted is to me. It's a joyful and fully alive expression without apology.
Yes. Wow. Love it. Okay. So folks, if you have questions, would love to ask away. Let's find out what Rachel is thinking. So please post your questions in the chat. No, I can't say Rachel's the singer. I'm the shower singer. What are you most excited about right now in life? What just absolutely lights you up?
What am I most excited about in life? Oh my gosh, like so many things. I started taking, okay, here's the cool thing. So as somebody who loves singing forever, right, but didn't do it for a long time, dabbled in it in gospel choir, sort of got back out of it, and then started incorporating it into my speaking about a year ago, I decided for the first time in 17 years to sign up for voice lessons. And I have voice lessons every Monday, and I have so much fun, and I feel so alive, and it's playful, and I love it. So that is one thing that is like super has me jazzed, because I'm like, I am not silencing that part of who I am anymore, because that is a fundamental part of what brings me joy and what brings me life, and that helps me give life. And so I am done with silencing that, and I'm going after it.
Oh, that's so good. I hope everybody heard what you just said, because there's somebody listening to us right now. And when you lose your spark, you lose your joy. When you lose your joy, you lose your voice. When you lose your voice, you lose your freedom. But the moment you decide, like Rachel, to unmute yourself, you find your voice, you find your joy, you find your spark, all because you decided. So I hope someone listening to us right now is going to say, you know what? I'm going to make that decision and unmute myself. Here's a question from Melina, Rachel. Her question is, what do you do to climb your way back to hope again in the midst of deep disappointment? Great question.
That's like the question of the past year that like every human could benefit from. So Elena, awesome question. Here's what I would say. One thing that I've been doing and walking folks through that I found really helpful, that they found helpful, is to acknowledge that when we've gone through a time of deep disappointment, and there's a book called It's Not Supposed to Be This Way by Lisa Turkhurst that a group of women and I started reading right before COVID hit last year. And so that's a really good book to read. So one, getting insight from other people that have been in the pit and to get their perspective. So reading is one thing that's been really helpful for me. Another is to just acknowledge that what we're going through is a process of grief. And part of grieving is there's a shock, and then we go through the denial, and then we get to a place of frustration when it sinks in that this is reality and I am disappointed. And then maybe we get really, really sad. We go to a place of even depression or sadness or listlessness. And what's helpful in those moments is, one, to just recognize, give permission to your process, give permission to your pain. And first of all, acknowledge that it's really hard to be disappointed.
Wow. So you're saying give yourself permission to grieve. Is that what you're saying?
I am. Wow. Yes. 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 And then in the midst of that, you give yourself, and this is a process, right? It's not linear either. Sometimes you're grieving, you're like, I think I'm good. And then something comes up and it triggers you and you go back to frustration again. And like, this is not linear. This is a hot mess of a process, but it's something that every human experiences. And so the other thing that I do, Elena, I hope this is helpful, is to think about a time in the past when you went through something that was really difficult, that was a disappointment, and you made it through, or something unexpected, an unexpected gift came out of that in the moment you were like, this is the worst. This sucks, right? Like, I think to myself, getting hit by a truck, fracturing back, this sucks. Like, I would prefer this did not happen. And you better believe I'm going to use that and say, oh, I'm going to do a keynote called I'm Still Standing, and I'm going to sing to people Elton John, and I'm going to find a way to use this, because even though I did not choose this is one of the things I love to tell people. Even though I did not choose it, I'm going to find a way to use it.
Ooh, boom. That's a joy bomb. Boom. Okay, Megan, post that. I love that. Say it again, Rachel. Say it again.
Even though I didn't choose it, I'm going to find a way to use it. That's going in my book. Simon, when that book comes out, it's going in my book.
When is your book coming out?
Oh, it's not coming out yet, but when it is, I'll let you know. We'll have another show.
You got to put that in there. You got to put that in there. I love that. That is so good. Okay, what's your favorite gospel song that you like to sing?
That I like to sing.
That you think our audience, wherever people are right now, they would say, you know what? That Rachel Druckenmiller, she blessed my heart.
Ooh, well, this is my jam. My gospel thing that I know I love this song. Okay, I can sing this little one. It's because for me, this is what it is to be unmuted. This is the song that communicates what it is to me to be unmuted. And that's why I'm wearing, Simon, just for you today, I'm wearing my Be the Light shirt. Okay, so here we go.
Okay, bless us. Bring it.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
What? Boom! There it is. Who knew? Who knew? Okay, another question. All right, this is so good. I'm loving this.
So fun.
What qualities would you say the most resilient people have? Thank you, Elaine, for this question.
Oh, excellent question. So a couple things come to mind. One, there's a book called Resilient by a guy I've had the opportunity to learn from named Rick Hansen. And there's a couple things that come to mind. Self-compassion by far is at the top, is one of the top ones in there. Self-compassion. Again, this sense of grace. So inherent in self-compassion is a sense of grace for myself of this is really hard, right? Of it, that acknowledgement, that self-kindness, self-compassion. Another element of resilience, we've touched on this, is hope, is the sense that the future can be somewhat better than the past in some way. The people who are resilient also have the ability to regulate their emotional responses. So we've hinted at this already, but in terms of the difference between emotional reactivity and emotional responsiveness, people who are more resilient do not allow their foundation to be completely upended and shaken as the results of an experience. They're able to take that perspective step back and ask the question of, okay, what's really going on right now? What resources do I need? Who do I need to reach out to? So resilient people are resourceful people. They don't assume they have to do it all themselves. In fact, they know that they can't, and they know that they need to reach out to other people. And they have a sense of grit, kind of this sense of tenacity and determination. And those are some things, as well as gratitude. I mean, people have a sense of resilience of like, you know what? I'm going to learn. I'm choosing to draw whatever goodness I can come from out of that situation that might have been difficult. And I'm going to choose to say, you know, I am grateful for what I have learned in that, even though I wish it hadn't happened. I'm so grateful for this experience that came out of it that I've learned. So those are, like, off the top of my head, those are some things that come to mind of traits of resilient people.
So good. So good. Folks, Rachel is an amazing speaker. And if you are looking for a speaker to come into your organization, I'm telling you, you need to bring Rachel in. Rachel, where can they find out more information about you?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, which is unmutedlife.com, where you can find out all the topics I cover and the work that I do, and also on LinkedIn. I mean, I hang out like Simon, and I got to give you a props. I got to give Simon props for something. I was talking to him last January 2020, And I was like, Simon, I want to do more videos. And he's like, every day, Rachel. And I was like, Simon, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work and a lot of ideas. And he's like, yeah, you can do it. And so until the accident happened on May 3rd, I got hit by this pickup truck. But from like the third week of January until the, May 1st, every single weekday, I had video content on LinkedIn every single day. Did not overthink, did not over edit, did not overproduce, but I got in the habit of just getting out there. So that's part of being unmuted, is that too, is just like putting in the reps, being willing to show up even when you're not sure who's watching or paying attention, because it's practice for you to use your voice.
That is so good. That is so good. Okay, we're about to wind this down. Do you have another little song to send us away? I mean, I know I'm being greedy here.
Yeah. So this is what I haven't done on any LinkedIn anything before, Simon, because I'm still working on it. But okay. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you, Simon. And I'll do it for everybody listening, everybody here with us today, as appreciation and gratitude for you being here. This is another song, and this woman is like she is amazing. She is just her own breed. But I feel like this song really connects for a lot of people over the past year. So here we go. You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter. But I see it in you, so we can walk it out. Ooh, mountains, we can walk it out. Ooh, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up. And I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up high like the wave. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. For you, Simon.
Rachel, oh my goodness. You know what? I am rich in friends. I am rich in friends. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look at everybody in the comments. Goosebumps, tears. Bring it, Rachel. Look at this beautiful gift. Thank you so much. What a way to celebrate International Women's Month. And folks, I want you to go and follow Rachel. I want you to support her. She's an amazing human being, an awesome wife, great husband. Tell your husband we said hi. And thank you, folks, for joining us for this time. And on behalf of our team, remember that we love you. We believe in you. There's not a darn thing you can do about it. And I hope over the last few moments that we've had, that you have been hugged with the words of the one and only Rachel Druckenmiller. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Simon. Thanks, everybody.